Hi there, my name is Nicole Mooring, and I'm the Strategic Marketing Manager here at the Medical Consultancy. I recently had the extreme pleasure of chatting with the MD of SISK Healthcare UK and Ireland, as well as the GM of Synapse Medical. Alan Bolster is the man I'm talking of. This may be a name you do or do not know, but you certainly should if you don't. He's been in the industry since 1997. He got his start as a production engineer and then quickly climbed the ropes as he helped AngioDynamics go through an acquisition and a rename and kind of helped spearhead that initiative, and then found his way into Synapse Medical, which then led into his introduction into the SISK Healthcare Group, which is where I currently have the pleasure of working alongside with him. I look forward to introducing you to Alan, his many talents, and his insights through this multi-part video series. With that being said, welcome, Alan. Alan, thank you so much for being here. How are you today?
Very good, thank you. You're welcome.
Let's get right into it. Distribution, the UK and Ireland.
Okay, so when we look at the UK as an entity right now, we have companies out there for over 25 years, but equally some of our brands have only entered the market in the last couple of years. So from the 8 brands that make up the MedTech group, we currently have about 4 brands in the UK. The longest serving of those would be cardiac services, and they are primarily in the area of patient monitoring and surgical division within the UK. So 2 divisions. So Philips is their longest serving partner, and they are a distributor for Philips across the UK and Ireland for specific ranges of products. In the UK, it's about mainly patient monitoring and suction units and multiple devices around that general area. So a very, very successful company with a really good team, and we're trying to look at their core competencies and grow them into new areas, but keep the focus on trying to grow their existing business as well. The second company here, we have Synapse Medical, which I am the GM of in across Ireland and UK, but specifically the diagnostic imaging division, which is an area built around injectors. We have CT, MR injectors, and that has been hugely successful. A product that we initially were a subcontractor in Ireland to the UK company. We eventually got our own contract in Ireland off the manufacturer, who are German based. And eventually we took over the UK because we'd done such a good job in Ireland, and now we're really building market share in the UK. So very different to what cardiac services do, but it's just in a different procedural area. The third company then is MED Surgical, and they only entered the UK market about a year or 2 ago, and they're in the ophthalmic space in general, and are capable of taking on any ophthalmic product. Right now we have 1 or 2 products that we're starting with, have been very successful with them, and it's all about building them and building growth.
Right.
The fourth company then would be Macromed. Macromed were one of the brands that weren't traditionally part of SISK Healthcare. They were acquired by Uniphar a few years ago, and they're in the space of interventional radiology and in orthopedic spine. Very successful in those 2 areas, but again, as you can see, a very different procedural area.
Right.
And only this year we've started up an infection control division, albeit it's not through one of the brands. We're actually putting into multiple brands. So at the moment, Synapse and Cardiac Services GB are going to be selling some of the products that we have within that portfolio. Obviously it's a big area of focus, infection control, given everything with COVID, and there is loads of opportunities for some of those products. So we're trying to build out by brand, and we're trying to build out by portfolio and fit it into whichever brand that works. And sometimes that's in multiple brands. But the idea is obviously to do what we've done in Ireland, in build out a procedural coverage across all of the brands, and maybe acquire some new brands in the future to kind of build out and build up the portfolio.
Right. And I think I can imagine that this is where your long-term general expertise in the entire industry really comes into play, because what you're saying is a manufacturer can come to you with a device and say, I want this in Europe, and you have the ability and the resources to really see where it should actually go to be successful, what division, what regions, what business unit is going to best represent it, so that it's not just lost in a sea with experts that don't really know much about that device, because you are systematically putting it where it truly belongs. I think that's great.
Yeah, and I think that was the idea of this structure we have with the MD structure of UK and Europe, in that, we needed a point of contact that understood the business across all of the entities, the procedural areas and the brands, and so that they could define, where it sat best within the group. And also to give a better understanding of the size of the UK business right now, for example, because up to now, a supplier might have been dealing just with one of those brands, but probably never necessarily got a view of the entirety of the business we had in the UK, or the entirety of the business within SISK Healthcare and Uniphar. So it is really a good way of showing a manufacturer how big we are, but also, how focused we can be within a specific procedure area.
Which is an incredibly exciting place to be. Now, if you are looking forward to learning more about Alan Bolster and his roles within SISK and Synapse, please do follow along in this multi-part video series. You can always subscribe, and I will be linking more information down in the comment section. As always, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Nicole Mooring with Medical Consultancy.